Listen to me carefully. Every second you spend waiting, hesitating, or making excuses is a second of your life you will never get back. Time is your most valuable resource, and yet so many people treat it like it doesn't matter. They drift through life, distracted by trivial things, comfortable routines, and meaningless distractions, thinking there's always tomorrow to start taking action. But here's the truth. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, and the years you waste will never return. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to stop wasting time and start acting today. Think about all the things you've been putting off: your dreams, your goals, your self-improvement, your health, your relationships. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start next week, or I'll do it when the timing is right? That's wasted time. Every day you delay, every excuse you make adds up. You can't recover the time you've already spent doing nothing, and the longer you wait, the further away your goals get. Life doesn't reward people who procrastinate. It rewards those who act decisively, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's difficult. Wasting years of your life isn't just about doing nothing. It's also about doing the wrong thing. You can be busy every day, filling your hours with distractions, social media, entertainment, or unproductive routines, and still be wasting your life. Being busy doesn't equal progress. Real growth comes from focused, intentional action toward your goals. You must evaluate how you spend your time and make sure every action moves you closer to the person you want to become. Another reason people waste years is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. Fear paralyzes people, convincing them that waiting is safer than acting. But life is not safe. There is no comfort zone where you achieve your dream. The people who achieve the most in life are the ones willing to face fear head on, to take risks, and to fail, knowing that failure is part of the learning process. Waiting out of fear is wasting years of your potential. One of the most important truths you need to realize is that your future self is watching you right now. The actions you take today will define who you become tomorrow. Every decision matters. Every moment you spend in procrastination, doubt, or distraction is a moment that your future self will regret. If you don't start taking consistent, focused action today, you will wake up years from now wondering why nothing has changed. The time to act is not next week, next month, or next year. It's now. Finally, stop wasting years of your life by settling for mediocrity. Too many people accept good enough when they are capable of greatness. Too many people live for comfort instead of pushing themselves toward growth. You owe it to yourself to stop wasting time, to pursue your goals relentlessly, and to make every day count. Life is short, and the years you waste are gone forever. Take responsibility for your time, your choices, and your future. The only way to honor your life is to start living intentionally, boldly, and without delay. Time is the one resource that once spent, you can never get back. No matter how much money, fame, or success you acquire, you cannot buy more time. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and it doesn't slow down. It's constantly moving forward, whether you're ready or not. The way you use your time today will determine who you become tomorrow. Yet, many people waste time without realizing how precious and fleeting it is. We fill our days with distractions, procrastination, and things that don't contribute to our long-term growth or happiness. Wasting time is like letting an opportunity slip through your fingers without even realizing it. Think about the time you spend each day. How much of it is spent on things that truly matter? How much of it is spent on activities that don't bring you closer to your goals, or worse, make you feel unfulfilled and stagnant? Time is the one thing you can never get back. So every minute you spend on things that don't align with your values, your goals, or your growth is a minute you'll never reclaim. Every day is an opportunity to make progress, and each moment you waste is a chance you'll never have again. The problem is, many of us live as if we have endless time. We say, I'll do it tomorrow, or there's always next week. But the truth is, tomorrow is not guaranteed, and the future you envision doesn't happen automatically. It happens through the choices you make today. The time you waste today, you can never recover. Procrastination and delay only add to the pile of lost opportunities. By the time you realize that you've been wasting your time, it could be too late to make up for it. Consider how much time you spend on distractions, like scrolling through social media, watching television, or engaging in activities that don't serve your greater purpose. Those moments add up. They rob you of time that could be spent working on your goals, improving yourself, or creating something meaningful. Imagine the difference it would make if you replace even a small fraction of that time with something productive. Every small change in how you spend your time will compound over time, and the results can be life-changing. Time is the ultimate equalizer. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, and how you use those hours is entirely in your control. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is how they manage their time. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the most talented, but they are the most disciplined with how they spend their time. They make decisions every day that align with their long-term vision. They prioritize what matters most, and they focus on the actions that will lead them to their goals. They don't waste time because they know its value. The time you have right now is an opportunity to create the life you want. Every moment is a chance to make progress, no matter how small. If you choose to use your time wisely, if you commit to making each moment count, you will be amazed at what you can achieve. Time doesn't wait for anyone. So use it wisely with purpose and intention and create the life you deserve. Procrastination is one of the biggest obstacles to success and personal growth. It's the habit of delaying important tasks, putting them off until later, and convincing yourself that there's always time to do it tomorrow. However, tomorrow never seems to come, and the task you've been avoiding lingers, weighing heavily on your mind. The longer you procrastinate, the more overwhelming it becomes, and the harder it is to get started. The problem with procrastination is that it doesn't just steal your time, it steals your potential. It holds you back from reaching your goals, achieving your dreams, and becoming the best version of yourself. Every time you put something off, you're telling yourself that your dreams aren't as important as your excuses, your fears, or your distractions. Procrastination often stems from fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of not being good enough. When faced with a task that seems difficult or overwhelming, the mind tends to retreat into comfort and avoidance. It's easier to scroll through social media, watch TV, or focus on smaller, less important tasks rather than face the challenge at hand. But this avoidance only keeps you stuck. The more you procrastinate, the more you reinforce the belief that you're incapable of tackling challenges. And this only creates a cycle where the fear grows and the tasks become even harder to approach. Another reason we procrastinate is perfectionism. Many people delay starting the task because they feel they need to do it perfectly, but that's just another form of self-sabotage. Perfectionism is paralyzing. It keeps you from taking action because you fear that your efforts won't be flawless. The truth is, perfection doesn't exist, and waiting for the perfect moment to start will only lead to more inaction. Done is better than perfect. The key is to take imperfect action and trust that progress will come through consistent effort. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Procrastination also happens when we feel overwhelmed by the size of the task ahead. If you look at a big project, it's easy to feel like there's no way you can tackle it. The idea of completing it may seem impossible, so you put it off until you feel ready. But the reality is that you'll never feel fully ready, and waiting for the right time only delays your progress. The best way to overcome this is by breaking the task down into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on the next action, not the whole project. Starting is the hardest part, but once you take that first step, momentum builds and the task becomes much easier to handle. The key to overcoming procrastination is to recognize that time is your most valuable resource. Every moment you spend procrastinating is a moment you will never get back. The longer you wait, the more you delay your success and the more you miss out on the opportunities that are right in front of you. Time doesn't wait for you to get your act together. The longer you put things off, the more time you waste and the further you move from achieving your goals. The real cost of procrastination isn't just lost time, it's lost potential. It's the dreams you didn't pursue, the opportunities you didn't seize, and the person you didn't become. To stop procrastinating, you have to decide that your goals are more important than your fears, your doubts, and your distractions. You have to take action, even when it feels uncomfortable. You have to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start working with what you have right now. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to get started. But the moment you take action, you break the cycle. The time to act is now. So stop procrastinating and start moving towards your dreams one step at a time. Focusing on the right actions is essential for achieving success and making progress in any area of your life. It's easy to get caught up in the busy work of life, staying occupied with tasks that feel productive but don't actually move you closer to your goals. Many people spend their time doing things that are urgent but not important, like checking emails, responding to distractions, or tackling tasks that don't align with their long-term vision. These actions may keep you busy, but they won't bring you closer to your true objectives. The key to achieving success is not being busy, but being effective. To move forward, you must focus on the actions that directly contribute to your progress, growth, and the fulfillment of your goals. One of the first steps in focusing on the right actions is clarity about what you want. Without a clear vision of your goals, it's difficult to determine which actions are worthwhile and which ones are simply time fillers. When you have a clear goal, everything you do should be directed toward that goal. Every action should be a step forward, no matter how small. To achieve this, you need to break your goal down into actionable steps, focusing on what needs to be done today, this week, and this month to get you closer to where you want to be. When your focus is clear, your actions will be more intentional, and you'll avoid wasting time on tasks that don't matter. Another aspect of focusing on the right actions is learning how to prioritize. Not all actions are created equal. Some tasks will have a much bigger impact on your goals than others. It's important to identify which actions will drive the most significant results and focus on those. This may mean saying no to certain activities that don't align with your vision. It might also mean eliminating distractions that pull you away from the work that truly matters. By learning to prioritize, you can ensure that the most important tasks get done first, and you won't waste time on things that don't contribute to your success. Often, people struggle to focus on the right actions because they are overwhelmed by the sheer number of things that need to be done. The pressure to do everything can lead to stress and burnout, and ultimately it can cause inaction. But the best way to tackle a large task or goal is to break it down into smaller, more manageable actions. By focusing on what you can do now and taking one step at a time, you reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed and stay on track. It's about making consistent progress every day, even if that progress is small. Each small step taken today adds up over time, and those small actions lead to massive results. It's also important to focus on actions that help you grow, rather than just completing tasks for the sake of completing them. Actions should always serve a purpose, whether that purpose is learning, improving, or moving forward in your journey. Doing the right actions often means stepping outside of your comfort zone, taking risks, and trying new things. It's about choosing the difficult task over the easy one, the challenge over the comfort, because those are the actions that lead to growth. Growth doesn't happen when you stay within your comfort zone. It happens when you take on challenges that stretch you and push you beyond your limits. Focusing on the right actions also requires discipline. You need the discipline to stick to your plan and consistently take steps towards your goal, even when it's not easy or when you're not seeing immediate results. Success is rarely instant. It takes time, effort, and consistent action. But by focusing on the right actions, you ensure that your time is being spent on tasks that will move you closer to your goal, and over time, that consistency will pay off. In the end, it's not about how much you do, but about how effectively you use your time and energy. When you focus on the right actions, you align your efforts with your goals, and you make progress every day. Consistency and focus are the keys to creating lasting success. And by taking the right actions, you will achieve the life you've envisioned. Facing fear head on is one of the most powerful and transformative actions you can take in your life. Fear has an incredible ability to hold people back, convincing them that they're not capable, not worthy, or not ready to take the next step. It tells you to wait, to stay comfortable, to avoid risk and challenges. But in reality, fear is just a feeling, not a fact. And letting it control you means missing out on opportunities for growth, success, and personal fulfillment. The truth is, fear is a natural part of the process, and learning to face it head on is the key to unlocking your true potential. Fear often arises when you step into the unknown or face something new. It's that voice in your head that says, what if you fail? Or what if people judge you? It can paralyze you with self-doubt and insecurity, making you question your abilities. However, the key is not to try to avoid fear or wish it away. The key is to embrace it. When you feel fear, it's a sign that you're pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. Every time you face your fear, you develop courage and resilience, proving to yourself that you are capable of handling challenges. The first step in facing fear head on is understanding that it's not as powerful as it seems. Often the things we fear are exaggerated in our minds. Fear feeds on the unknown, and the more we avoid it, the bigger it seems. When you confront your fear directly, you often realize that the worst case scenario is rarely as bad as you imagine. It's much more manageable than the stories your mind creates. Taking action, even when you're scared, breaks the illusion of fear's control. You start to realize that fear is just a mental block, and once you push past it, you find that you're more capable than you thought. One of the most effective ways to face fear head on is to break it down into smaller steps. If you're overwhelmed by the idea of doing something big or challenging, start small. Take the first step, even if it's a tiny one. The initial step is always the hardest because it's the unknown, but once you've taken that first step, the next one becomes easier. Each action you take in the face of fear builds your confidence and reduces the hold that fear has over you. Over time, what once seemed intimidating becomes just another part of the journey towards your goals. Facing fear also requires you to reframe how you see failure. Failure is not something to fear, it's something to learn from. Every successful person has faced fear and failure at some point. What sets them apart is their ability to keep going despite it. When you fail, you learn what works and what doesn't, and you get better. Fear of failure keeps you stuck, but embracing failure as part of the process allows you to keep moving forward and grow stronger. The fear of failure diminishes once you realize it's just feedback that guides you towards success. When you face fear head on, you not only gain strength and confidence, but you also open yourself up to new opportunities. Fear limits you because it keeps you from stepping into your full potential. But when you move through it, you unlock new levels of possibility. Life is full of uncertainties, but if you keep avoiding fear, you'll stay stuck in the same place. The more you embrace fear, the more you push yourself to achieve things that once seemed impossible. And each time you face your fears, you get closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Your future self is shaped by the actions you take today. Every decision you make, every habit you form, and every step you take has a direct impact on the person you will become. The future is not a distant, abstract concept. It's a culmination of the choices you're making right now. The life you're living tomorrow is the result of the actions you're taking today. And if you want to achieve your goals and reach your potential, you must start acting in alignment with the future you desire. The power to create your future lies in the present moment. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, distracted by short-term desires, and put off important tasks for tomorrow. But tomorrow is never promised. And delaying important actions today means delaying the life you want to live. Your future doesn't happen by chance. It's determined by the effort you put in now. Whether it's your career, health, relationships, or personal development, your present actions set the foundation for the future. If you want to change the trajectory of your life, you need to stop waiting for the perfect moment and begin taking decisive action. One of the most critical factors in shaping your future is consistency. Success is built on consistent effort, not sporadic bursts of motivation. The little things you do every day add up over time. If you spend your days making small, intentional choices that align with your goals, they will compound into significant results. On the other hand, if you continue making excuses, procrastinating, and allowing distractions to take over, you'll look back in a few years and realize that your inaction has cost you precious time. Every moment you waste now is a moment that cannot be regained. The decisions you make today will affect the opportunities you have in the future. Opportunities don't come to those who wait. They come to those who actively work toward them. If you choose to take action now, even if it's uncomfortable or challenging, you position yourself for greater possibilities down the line. Whether it's advancing in your career, learning a new skill, or building meaningful relationships, the foundation is built in the present. Every decision, no matter how small it seems, can change the course of your life. The small, everyday actions you take, waking up early, staying disciplined, making the right choices, add up to big changes over time. The habits you build today will determine who you are tomorrow. Bad habits today will lead to negative results in the future, while positive habits will create the foundation for success. Developing habits that support your goals, such as working on your health, improving your skills, reading, or investing in your personal growth, sets the stage for a successful future. Habits are what drive consistency, and consistency is what turns dreams into reality. The longer you delay forming these positive habits, the longer it will take for your future to catch up with your aspirations. In the end, your future is in your hands. The actions you take today are the seeds of the life you will live tomorrow. If you want to live the life you've always dreamed of, start taking steps toward that vision right now. No matter how small, every step forward brings you closer to the future you desire. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Act today, because your future self is waiting for the results of the actions you take right now. Rejecting mediocrity and comfort is one of the most essential decisions you can make if you want to achieve greatness. Comfort zones are often where people stagnate, settle, and live in a place that feels safe but does not foster growth. It's easy to get comfortable, to stick with what you know, to avoid challenges, and to go with the flow. However, mediocrity thrives in this space where complacency and a lack of ambition hold sway. If you want to reach your highest potential and live a life that is fulfilling and impactful, you must make the conscious decision to step out of comfort and reject mediocrity. Mediocrity is not about failure. It's about settling for less than you're capable of. It's about not pushing yourself, not striving for more, and not demanding more from life. It's the belief that good enough is sufficient, that the bare minimum is all that's required. When you accept mediocrity, you accept stagnation. You accept a life that is safe, predictable, and unchallenging. But life is not meant to be lived on autopilot. If you are comfortable all the time, it means you're not growing. Growth comes from discomfort, from facing challenges, and from taking risks. It comes from doing the hard work and choosing to improve, even when it feels easier to stay the same. To reject mediocrity, you must first be willing to confront your fears and embrace discomfort. Every step of growth involves moving past the initial resistance of fear and insecurity. It means doing things that make you feel uneasy, uncertain, or even afraid. If you never push through that discomfort, you will never unlock your true potential. Mediocrity keeps you in the realm of safe choices, but greatness requires that you venture into the unknown, that you push yourself beyond what's comfortable and familiar. You must choose discomfort over convenience, challenge over ease, and growth over complacency. The path to greatness requires taking action, and more importantly, taking the right actions even when they're difficult. The road to success is not paved with comfort, but with effort, sacrifice, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Mediocrity tells you to do what's easy, to go with the flow, and to avoid anything that challenges you. Rejecting that mindset means actively seeking out ways to improve, to elevate yourself, and to push your boundaries. It's about making decisions that are in alignment with the best version of yourself, even if they require sacrifice or hard work. Rejecting comfort and mediocrity also means holding yourself accountable. You can't accept the status quo and expect to achieve extraordinary things. Mediocrity thrives on the idea that you can get by without putting in your best effort. But success is reserved for those who are willing to go the extra mile, to give more than what's expected, and to push themselves to be the best they can be. It's about raising your standards and setting higher goals, knowing that the effort you put in will ultimately determine the results you achieve. Ultimately, rejecting mediocrity and comfort is about taking control of your life. It's about choosing a path that requires effort, persistence, and determination, but leads to a life of fulfillment, purpose, and success. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't allow comfort to dictate your future. You are capable of so much more than you think, and by rejecting mediocrity, you step into the life you were meant to live, a life of greatness. Step out of your comfort zone and reject mediocrity. Stop accepting the bare minimum and start demanding more from yourself. Embrace the discomfort that comes with growth and make the commitment to push yourself every single day. Your potential is limitless, but you'll only realize it by choosing discomfort over complacency. Don't wait for a better time. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Start now, right where you are. The life you've always dreamed of is on the other side of comfort, and it's waiting for you to take the first step. Make that decision today, because greatness doesn't come to those who settle, it comes to those who strive for more.